Okay, here's what I found out with this radio. Um, we were looking at these capacitors that were dangling all over the place, and they still are. I'm going to strip them out and fix them. They had this one tied to this terminal of the volume control. That one had plenty of voltage, B plus across it. This one had 0 volts across it. So I went and I got the schematic, and I don't know if you can see that. Well, you can probably see that. Hold on. Let me zoom into the right spot here. Right here. These are the two, my camera will focus in a minute. These are the two capacitors that we're looking at that are dangling. This one and this one. And they come right off of the rectifier tube, the 5Y3, and they provide voltage through the field coil to the output tube, and you see it's 225 volts there, which comes through this coil, which is this wire here, which goes to the first filter capacitor right here, which, by the way, is a 25 microfarad. This one is an 18 microfarad, and you see it goes straight up here, and it's supposed to have 245 volts on it. So 225 there, 245 here. This one was getting full power, which is good to know because that's the one that goes through the field coil. And so if that was not getting the power, then the problem could have been in the field coil, which would be a big problem. I did check the voltages on the transformer. The transformer's here. And 350 there on the heater. This coil goes right across the heater. This coil goes across the 4 pilot lights. This is the input coil. And then this is the coil that provides the plate voltage and also up to the circuit here. So that's this line here that goes up to this one. So it provides the voltage for that capacitor. Well, that capacitor wasn't getting any voltage because they didn't have it connected here. They had it connected to the volume control over here, which does not even connect to that line. It just, that line comes right by. It connects here and it connects here, but it doesn't connect there. So they tied it on the bottom leg of that volume control, which was not correct. So I don't know, I guess they left it like that and couldn't figure it out. But anyway, so I connected it to where it's supposed to go, and if you check the diagram here, it goes directly up to the screen of the screen grid of the output tube. Now, of course, the radio still ain't playing. It's got a lot of paper capacitors, got a lot of issues in there, and I'm going to change all the capacitors, but I wanted to show you this before I went further. So I checked the transformer voltages up here, going to the rectifier, going to the heaters of the tubes, and going to the volume control, the switch to turn the transformer on. Okay, so right now I have my signal generator up there set at 565 kilohertz, which is the IF frequency of this radio, and I'm coming directly into the antenna lead through a 0.1 microfarad capacitor and injecting an RF signal with 1,000 hertz carrier wave that we can hear. So I'm powered up. I'm at 113 volts. The radio's powered up, and you can hear the signal coming through once the tubes warm up. I got the speaker in a box here, so it would be protected, and the little chintzy one I wasn't really worried about. I'm probably going to try to fix the other speaker. But there it is. See, the tubes start emitting, and now you can hear it. So this is a big plus for this antique radio. because right now we have just sent a signal in through the antenna, an RF signal with a carrier, modulated carrier of 1,000 hertz, and it has gone through every stage, through the tuning capacitor, through the first IF, second IF. By the way, this is an 8-tube set. I was wrong, it wasn't 7, it was 8 tubes. And here they are here. So that signal that we just sent through went through the 6K7, which is the RF amplifier, went through this coil, and it went to the 6J5, which is the oscillator. Well, it actually went around the oscillator, but the oscillator's in that chain. And it went to the 6L7, which is the translator. So it takes the oscillator signal and the RF signal. Okay. And then it went through the first IF can, went into the second, the 6K7, which is an IF amplifier, went through the second IF can, went to the detector and automatic voltage control, the 6B6G, and this one I think it's a 6B6G, so it is glass, which should have 100 volts there. Then it went through it came out of there, which is a preamp basically, and also a detector that gets rid of the IF and sends the audio over to the output tube. The signal went through the output tube, went through the coils, and came out the speaker, and we heard it. So the signal went through the entire chain and came out. Now the volume's low, there's a lot of issues. I can't get any radio stations. You know, most likely these capacitors, these wax capacitors are shot, of course, and these guys are huge, so I don't know when they were put in there, but they test okay, but they're probably really leaky by now, especially this one, since it was wired in the wrong place. I don't even know if it had the right voltage across it originally, but whatever. And then there's that 35 microfarad that they have down there where they jumped across that capacitor. I'm not seeing that capacitor. I mean, I am. It should be this one and this one. So I don't know why they got two here, but I jumped this one across to the screen grid because it goes from ground to grid, whether it's from there or from here or from here, it doesn't matter. This is probably the one that should go to the screen grid, because that would be the one we were just looking at. This one is one that I'm using temporarily to the screen grid just to provide the voltage filtering on the screen grid to get rid of the ripple, and hence the signal went through. So I have to figure out what they did with this monstrosity here. Basically, I think this one's coming out of line. They probably were going, I don't know what they were thinking, because these are huge. And there's a lot of voltage on that. Let me make sure I'm off here. These are huge. This is a 47, and this one is a 33. And all that needs is one. It doesn't need two, and it should be the 25. So a 22 would be fine. But the 33 is fine. I'll probably put a 33 just because it's a little higher and better than, unless I got a 22 that comes in really close to 25, because that's plus or minus 20% anyway. But this 18 here is this one down here, and they got a 33 there. I'll get rid of that and put a 22, and that will connect to the screen grid. I don't know what they got going on here. They got it connecting to this resistor, going to this tube down here, and that's all not correct. So I still have some more rewiring to do to get this correct. But I wanted to show you, you know, what troubleshooting I went through and how I identified that we needed a filter condenser off the screen grid of the output tube. And that's why we were getting no noise, no sound, no static, no nothing, because the grid was not being supplied the proper voltage. which is 245 volts. It's actually higher than the plate. So with that voltage being 0, this tube could not conduct at all. It was just defeating. It was actually lower voltage on the screen grid than there was on the cathode. So anyway, that's where we're at with that. The cathode is supposed to have 250. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a 250 watt resistor. It's supposed to have 6 volts. Yeah, that makes more sense. 6 volts. And this one had 0, so it was lower than the cathode, the screen grid. Now, that would be this capacitor here. The only way this capacitor would have 2 is if this one was a dual can, and it's not a dual can. These are both single cans on the top of the chassis. So I'm not sure why they did what they did there and this. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, we're going to do it the right way by the schematic diagram. They probably couldn't find this schematic diagram. I had to dig around to find it. I had it on my PC. I had a lot of these writers on my PC. And the only thing that I was seeing online was this, which is how to set the presets. But I finally found the schematic for the radio. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and I just wanted to do that to show you what what you have to deal with when somebody else has worked on a radio. You never know what they did, and it took me a little bit of troubleshooting time to figure that out. So that's where I'm at. I'll continue the video after I recap this, and when I figure out, I'm probably not going to know what they were trying to do here. I'm just going to put the right one in there and connect that to the right place and go from there. I'll be back. Okay, I got the radio recapped. There's still some issues. I'm on, right now on my local station here in town. And you hear it's playing. Unfortunately, I can't get any other station but that. Has a tone control here, and that's working. And if I try to switch bands, well, let's try to switch stations. I'm going to have to do an alignment. I haven't done that yet. But if we try to find another station, we may get something. Oh, yeah, we're getting something. Coronavirus is starting to spread all over northeast Georgia now. Okay, so the AM band's working. It just needs, actually I think all the bands are working, but the AM band needs a front end alignment.
Prioritize, and the American people prioritize those with symptoms.
See, and you got the fine tune here. So you can turn it with the big knob, and then you fine tune it with the small knob. So it's got good reception and good sensitivity. Sensitivity is okay. It'll come up when I tune it. It doesn't have a lot of volume, which could be just my antenna, because when I get on a good station, I get better volume. The tube is not working. 6BE6, I believe it is. 6E, no, it's a 65 or something like that. I can't read it, it's upside down. Should be a 5U4.
Quick suggestion. Very slow. I'm Rob Jordan, WJJC News. We're your source for local news, sports, and information. We're WJJC.
Yeah, 6U5. It should be a 6U5. So I'm thinking this is a replacement tube, but it doesn't seem to be working.
With Georgia News Network, I'm Matt.
It has a lot of volume on the local station, so I'm thinking it just needs an antenna. It is a antique radio, and it's not made to run on a wimpy antenna in the basement. And you can see I got a lot of cleaning to do on this thing, quite a bit of cleaning. But I got to be careful of that string because I don't want to have to change it. Good sound though, considering that well, you still got the crazy speaker connected over the other speaker, and that's not right. This is an 8-ohm speaker that somebody put on here, and they just jumped it over the speaker coil. They soldered it to the speaker coil terminals of this speaker, which it looks like somebody had tried to repair it. I see there's a hole where they popped that speaker wire through there, and I imagine this coil was rubbing really bad. It's torn there. I might try to fix that speaker. It'd be nice if we can get that to go, but I have to ask the customer if he wants me to put time in that, because it is a time-consuming job to repair a speaker. But so far so good. The radio's going well, so right now I'm going to do a tune on it, an IF tune, and see what we get. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe, as that helps us to make these videos possible. And be safe, friends. Thank you. Okay, I did an alignment on this on all 3 bands, and followed the procedure. And I just wanted to do a little demo of what we got so far. I put the fine tuning knob on so I could turn it slow. And of course I'm on my rinky-dinky antenna here. And there's something there, but it's not coming in very good. Quite far away. Continue.
Governor Angela Cuomo says one key to combating the virus is density reduction. That means keeping more New Yorkers.
So that's a distant station. Now this is my local Cornelia station, so I'm just going to lower the volume and go by it. Okay, now raise the volume and we'll continue. We know that comes in great. I can just stick wires in my ears and hear that station.
With many Americans hurting both medically and financially, lawmakers in Washington are weaving stimulus plans together.
You see it's got good selectivity. There's 2 distant stations right next to each other. See how a little bit I'm turning the fine tuning to go from one to the other. So it's got good selectivity, and the sensitivity is fine. It's pulling them in. These are all far away stations from me. And if I had an antenna made for this radio, it would pull these in really good. Picking up, hear that? pulsating sound. That's from my fluorescent lights. I'm trying to pull these in, but they're so far away. So if I had the right antenna, it'd be pulling these in.
Tissues should be avoided. Plumbers say those items could clump up, cause a backup. They're preparing for a surge in calls as long as this toilet paper hoarding continues. Shoppers are I don't understand the panic over it. It's great. Great that the NFL season opened. Payroll is also
Linaclotide is a prescription medication that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess helps relieve belly pain and lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Individual results may vary.
That's at Tacoma Station, about 35 miles away.
6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage.
Some kind of strange sounding sideband or something. I believe this is a Gainesville station, but I'm not sure. It might be, oh, it's probably Tacoma Falls.
to cut back hours or close
this
altogether.
Tacoma Falls
It'll be another
radio.
couple months before the virus's effects on the economy become fully clear.
You'll find more news at Access WDUN. Now here's the Access WDUN forecast.
The better chance of rain is actually tomorrow. The rest of the day should stay quiet. Well, there may be a renegade shower, but nothing yet. Mostly cloudy, 77, mostly cloudy, 61 tonight. It's tomorrow. Showers become likely, possibly an afternoon thunderstorm. High tomorrow, 75. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Weatherby.
70 degrees in Murrayville and Lula.
Okay,
69
and then
75 degrees in Gainesville. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550.
this is the amateur band. And some are out there, but they're not close, not strong enough. And this would be the old police band here. And we have aviation. I guess it was where when Amelia Earhart was flying, I don't know. And this is the aviation from here all the way over to there. Of course, not many planes are flying now because of the coronavirus, but there's stuff there. I just don't know what it is. It's carrier signals we're getting. And then it's back to the amateur bands. Sounds like harmonic distortion or something coming in every so far. So I didn't think I'd get anything on that band, but at least you can see the band is working. And if there was something local, they would pull it in. And then we have the high band. You notice the drop in the distortion level at the higher frequencies. Once you get above 5 or 6 megacycles or megahertz, noise drops. But a lot of this would be just digital at this point. Some kind of digital. This band is not really used much. It's kind of too high for amateur, too low for real communications. They were way up now. Nobody functions this low on the megacycle band for business. At least not near me. That brings us back down to around the 6. But anyway, on the AM, we get everything around. Now I still haven't, and you know, the tone control still works. It's got 3 settings. I'll have to spray some cleaner in there. I love the way this works. So, it's hard to turn. So anyway, what is left to be done is find those pilot lights, find out if I can get another replacement tube for this. I don't have any way to test these tubes, these eye tubes. I just don't have a tube tester that goes back that far or that handles those kind of tubes. So I'll need to find out a way to get one. The other thing is I need to fix the speaker. If the customer wants me to do that and spend some time trying to fix that speaker, no guarantee that I can. I haven't checked the continuity in the coils yet, but that's something I can do. And also I need to go through and check the voltages and make sure that I got plenty of voltage. But I think when I checked it, it came up pretty high, but you know, some of these tubes, I tested all the tubes in here except for that one, and they all tested in a good range. I checked the diodes for shorts or low diode reading, and they were fine too. So the other thing I got to do, of course, is cleaning, but I'm not really too concerned with cleaning. It's mostly just dust. It isn't going to hurt anything. It's just I want to get it clean so that it's not extra stress on the string, and I'll oil all these pulleys here so that they turn easily and without getting oil on the string, of course, so that those will work a lot better. And this is manually controlled and it's fine. So I don't know about these presets. I don't know exactly how they work. There is some documentation on it, but it's all blurry and you can't read it. It's just too old. Show you what we have on that. And I'm going to read over what I can. Some of it I can read, but I mean, that's just about undecipherable. Yeah. you can kind of guess what it is, but I don't know. But that's okay because, you know, that's just more at this point nostalgia than anything else. Ain't nobody gonna, I don't think anyone's gonna want to reset those and make little cardboards with letters and, you know, stations come online, go offline so fast now, it wouldn't do you any good anyway in the long run. So I think it's just kind of cool that they're there and in the condition they are, they kind of give some nostalgia to the radio. So I don't know that I'll spend any time on that. But the other things I really want to do. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Once I do get a little more information on that tube and maybe on that speaker, then I might make a longer addition to this video and I'll link to it. If not, I'll probably just, if the customer's happy with it, I'll put it back in its case and make a final demo video, and that'll pretty much be it. But thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing and giving a thumbs up. Thank you.